So round 3, we open up with a pretty strong hand against a mono-red deck that we scouted ahead of time. We decided to split the packs, but we're playing for QPs here, so this is still a valid game. Let's see how this turns out. We got a pretty solid hand here with removal and then a mana leak, and enough lands to play most spells in the deck. We lead with the Tar Pit, pass the turn. Our opponent did mulligan down to 6, which is very nice for us. He leads with a Goblin Guide. Hopefully we'll get a land off this thing. And we don't. We get a Spreading Seas, although that could be useful eventually as well. On our turn, we're going to drop an island and Spreading Seas is land. I'm not sure if there's a correct line of play here. After a second look, I'm thinking we probably should have kept the Disfigured back for the Goblin Guide. It was kind of greedy to think that he wouldn't have another mountain having mulligan to 6. Instead we get punished with 2 Goblin Guides. So he gets in for 4 damage. He reveals a Ratchet Bomb on top of our deck, which doesn't really help us because we already have one in hand. So we're going to play a Ratchet Bomb here and keep Disfigure up. At this point, I decided that I would rather get a 2-for-1 next turn than use my Disfigure and save 2 life at this point. I'm not sure if it was the right play, but we'll have to find out from here. We finally get a Goblin Guide to trigger a land, and we get a Misty Rainforest, which also reveals a Jace after that. At the end of the turn, we're going to charge up our Ratchet Bomb and untap and draw our Jace. I'm going to play our Jace because he'll have to play a non-1-mana threat to get through as it with a creature. We're going to Fate Seal, so we can't finish him off with a bolt. We see an Arc Trail. We let him have it. It's 2 damage to our face if he targets the Goblin Guy. Could be a lot worse than 2 damage to our face, I figure. He doesn't swing here. He probably should have swung with 1 Goblin Guide to clear my Ratchet Bomb. Instead he plays his Arc Trail, dealing 2 damage to us. We're not in a great position here, but we still have a lot of action, so we're going to keep on brainstorming and see if we can find a Grave Titan to finish this game out. We'll brainstorm here. Find an Inquisition to Kozilek, which is very nice. We'll be able to see his hand and see what he's up to. He revealed the Fork Bolt, Galvanic Blast, Mountain. We got rid of his Searing Blaze. Because we're going to have to play a creature eventually. We don't want him to have the ability to deal 3 damage to us and the creature. We shuffle away the cards on top of our deck, which does put us down to 5 life. We're going to brainstorm again. Here we find a Stoic Rebuttal and some more lands, so we're just going to sit on this for now. On his turn he goes to Galvanic Blast us. We're going to Mana Leak it before Mana Leak becomes obsolete. We know he at least has 1 more mountain in his hand, so it wouldn't be more than a few more turns. Again, he doesn't attack with his Goblin Guides. He's just not able to clear away our creatures. We go to Stoic Rebuttal as Forked Bolt. I'm going to brainstorm again. Or Fate Seal, sorry. And put away his Fork Bolt. He finally decides to tackle his Goblin Guide to clear the Ratchet Bomb from the field. We'll take the Tectonic Edge and blow up the Goblin Guides. He plays a Goblin Arsonist, and we're going to have to get rid of that eventually, so we'll just get rid of it now. We'll move up to our draw step. We're going to pick up a Spreading Seas. We know he has another mountain in his hand, so we're not going to lock him out of red. But it will be nice to draw a card and keep him off of Searing Blaze for now. And then we drew another Spreading Seas, so his next mountain's going to fall prey to our Spreading Seas again. So we draw for the turn, Creeping Tar Pit, not exactly the way I wanted. We're going to Fate Seal to keep him off of burn spells right now. That's the line of play we're taking. Spreading Seas another mountain. And draw a card. Frost Titan. We'll be able to lock down some of his mana. He won't be able to kill us next turn. And if he does draw a mountain and a lightning bolt, we'll be in a bit of trouble, but we'll still have some options to get around it. This turn, he plays on a mountain, which is fine. We're going to Fate Seal here, swing with our Titan and lock down his mountain. We're going to put away his Stagger Shock. Swinging with one Creeping Tar Pit here gives us the ability to kill him on the next turn if we activate both Creeping Tar Pits and swing with the team. So we lock down his mountain, crashing for 9. He'll be at 11, which is we'll have lethal on board next turn. And as long as he doesn't draw something insane, we're good to go. So we get to Ultimate with Jace here. Guarantees that he won't draw anything that he hasn't already seen. And we won the game. So, game 2 of round 3, and we open up with a pretty horrid hand here against mono red. We can't even play the Inquisition on the first turn if we wanted to, and beyond that it's not keepable anyway, so we're going to mulligan this and see how it goes. Mulligan down to a not so great hand either, but we're going to have to keep this. We can't go any farther down and hope to get a better hand. So he gets a turn 1 Goblin Guide. Let's see if we can get a land off this. We do get a land, which is nice. But we're going to need to see some Disfigures and some more Doom Blades if we're going to win this game. We'll get the play our Creeping Tar Pit tapped and pass the turn. Here, our opponent goes to attack step without playing a land. Either he's holding some back, or he missed his land drop. So it looks like he missed his land drop, or he's holding land back for a Searing Blaze. We draw our Ratchet Bomb and play it out so we can hit the Goblin Guide with it. Choosing not to use the Doom Blade because we'll want to use that later. The Goblin Guide comes in for another 2. We'll see a preordain on top, meaning we can preordain and hold up Doomblade next turn. Here our opponent decides to bolt us, and bolt us again, which probably means that he has enough burn to finish us off in hand, or close to it. We'll draw for the turn, the preordain that we saw on top. We're going to see if we can find Flash Freeze and some other cards to keep him off what he needs to do. He doesn't attack here, or he does attack here, so we crack a Ratchet Bomb. A Ratchet Bomb on top is not what we wanted to see, and it's looking like this game's going pretty bad for us. Goblin Arsonist, which isn't the strongest card, but it will be annoying. Here we can play both the Ratchet Bomb and the Doomblade. Plays Goblin Guide, and that's probably going to eat our Doomblade. Cracks in. Land on top. And we Doomblade his Goblin Guide. That'll put us down to virtual 6th life, which is not where we want to be in this matchup. Our opponent Stagger Shocks us, putting us at a virtual 2 life. We're going to need to find some really good answers now to get out of this. And draw for the turn. It's a swamp. Does not look like it's going to save us. We can draw with Jace though. If we can pick up a Flash Freeze, we might be able to work with this. Disfigure. Well, he doesn't have his dead yet, but we're pretty close. Let's see. Stagger Shock hits us, drops us to 3. He has a virtual 1 damage left from his Goblin Arsonist. So we're pretty much dead at this point. We'll play it out to make sure he's not stuck with 2 mountains in his hand. 1 damage to us. And here is the Forked Bolt to finish the game.